Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Thursday, February 2nd, 2023. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my $15 Bank Shot best bet, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Thursday in college hoops. First up, we go to the Big Ten as Northwestern takes on Michigan. This one's going to be 7 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN2. Now, Northwestern's 3-game win streak in the Big Ten was snapped in their most recent game, a makeup game against Iowa back on January 31st. It was a 16-point loss, 86-70 in the final score, but I don't necessarily think the final score tells the full story. This was a pretty close game throughout the first 30 minutes of it. In fact, it was a tie game at halftime between these two, between Northwestern and Iowa. So I do think the Wildcats played pretty well at the beginning. Iowa just hit a lot of shots at the end of that game, and they ended the game with a 10-21 from three-point range, 47.6% from three. Nothing really you can do there. Northwestern only shot 23.5%. I still think Northwestern is the better team in this matchup. I like the fact that they're at home in this game. And I also worry about the fact that even though Michigan takes care of the basketball, they force virtually no turnovers. And against Northwestern, a team that doesn't turn the ball over much themselves to begin with, I think Michigan's defense is going to struggle in this game. I like Northwestern at home here. I'm going to lay the points here with the Wildcats. I think they get the win and the cover. Next up, we stay in the Big Ten as Wisconsin takes on Ohio State. This one's 7 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be on Fox Sports 1. Now, both of these teams could certainly use a win in this game. Both teams struggling quite a bit. Wisconsin has lost 6 of its last 7, including 3 straight games. Ohio State has lost its last 2 games, including 7 of its last 8. So both teams not in good form in conference play. We know it's a very, very tough Big Ten conference. Both the Big Ten and the Big 12 very competitive this season. But I do think this is going to be a pretty close, low-scoring game. I like the fact that even though Wisconsin's struggling offensively, their defense has still been solid for most of the year, and they slow things down offensively and defensively. One of the slowest-paced teams in the country. It does benefit when you're an underdog getting a good amount of points in a game like this, that if you see a low-scoring defensive battle, the points become a lot more valuable. And Wisconsin, even though they're not shooting the ball very well overall, they're still taking care of the basketball. They're 3rd in the country in turnover percentage on offense, so they're not losing the ball via turnovers. They're getting up shots. They're 62nd in the country in three-point percentage, so they're able to score points, but I do think that their defense really steps it up in this game, at least keeps this game close, if not earns the W. I wouldn't want to be laying this many points with Ohio State right now in their current form, so give me the points here with the Wisconsin Badgers. Next up, we go to the Pac-12 as Stanford takes on Utah. This one, 8 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be on the Pac-12 network. I like what I'm seeing from Stanford as of late. They've won their last 4 games. Now, granted, some of those wins not against the best opponents, teams like Oregon State and California, as well as the non-conference win over Chicago State, but they also beat Oregon on their home court by 7 points. Pretty impressive victory there against an Oregon team that I think is pretty underrated right now. I think Utah's overrated, honestly. You look at that Pac-12 record, 8-4. Their overall record 15-8, but we've seen them lose games like these in spots this season. Now, most of those on the road. They haven't played very well in true road games. They played much better at home, but in Stanford's biggest problem this season, it was definitely the biggest problem last year, was the turnovers offensively. Last season, Stanford was ranked 349th in the country in turnover percentage on offense. They were also, this season, ranked 259th. So they made a little bit of improvements, but not a ton. But when it comes to Utah's defense, this is not a very aggressive defense. They don't force many turnovers. They're ranked 314th in turnover percentage on defense. So, Stanford's biggest weakness, I don't think Utah's going to be able to exploit that. I think overall Stanford's a very good defensive team, a very good rebounding team, which is something that they have an advantage on in this game. So I think Stanford keeps this game close, maybe earns another win. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. I'm going to take the Stanford Cardinal here. I'm going to take the points. Next up, we go to the Big West Conference as Hawaii takes on UC Davis. This one's going to be 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. Now, Hawaii's played a lot of its games this season at home. They haven't necessarily played too poorly on the road. They do have a few true road losses in the conference, teams like Cal State Fullerton and UC Irvine, some of the better teams in the Big West. But still, I don't love taking Hawaii in these spots on the road, especially after back-to-back home games. It's not a really easy road trip to make for the Rainbow Warriors, and I do think that UC Davis is underrated and undervalued in this spot. And the first meeting between these two teams, Hawaii won it by 8 points. Again, that was a home game for Hawaii. It was a 74-66 final. Hawaii shot 8 of 15, 53.3%. 40% from 3 in that game. I don't think we can expect that in the second meeting between these two, especially on the road. I think UC Davis, honestly, on both sides of the ball, is undervalued right now. I like the fact that they're 36th in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. They also get to the free throw line a ton. So I'm going to take UC Davis in this game. I like them to win this game and cover the number as well. And it wouldn't be Ron's bank shot breakdown without a whack game. So let's talk about Utah Valley and Utah Tech. This one, 9 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. Now, I've mentioned over and over that I think really any team in this WAC conference, other than maybe the bottom two teams in the standings, have a real shot at making some noise and being a dark horse when it comes to the WAC conference tournament in March. And, I think a team like Utah Tech is one of those teams that's, right now 2-7 in conference play, and they're right now 10-12 overall this season. But still, you look at some of their numbers and their shot quality data, not too shabby. I think this team has a great shot of winning this game at home against Utah Valley, a team that's been so-so as of late. They had a really good start to conference play. They were 5-0 to start WAC play, but now they've lost 2 of their last 5 games in total. Seattle and Southern Utah, one of those games, a true road game against Southern U, and that was a game that Utah Valley was up big at halftime, but they blew it in the second half, and really the home court advantage that Southern Utah had in that one was one of the bigger reasons why the Thunderbirds were able to make that comeback victory. But Utah Tech is a solid team. They get to the free throw line a ton. Very good three-point shooting team, good rebounding team, which is really important in these conference games. If you can't rebound the ball on the defensive end, especially, you're in trouble. But Utah Tech is 43rd in the country in defensive rebounding. I already mentioned I like the shot quality data for them. I think the Trailblazers grab a win in this one and a cover. So give me Utah Tech. I'm gonna take the points here with the home dog. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.